Yeah, this is good evening. This is another video for the post for the financial prosperous financial page. So I was we just came off of a weekend seminar at the office. They had people, trainers, people who have gone deep into this financial space, right? People who are now changing their story around from different aspects of life, people who have come in as teachers, doctors, people who have have done so many things like that, and they're able to travel around with their families and stuff like that. But what I was able to catch out of there was a couple of things, right? But what I fundamentally able to catch out of those talks, those mentors, that seminar space, right? Where one of the speakers came down, Dr. Dorotoya came down. The system is so messed up, and we're so deep in it, and we're so used to debt, right? That unless you start to really to challenge this thinking, you would think it's so normal. If I was talking to you about get your house without getting any debt, you look at me with 7 heads, right? So I was like, no, let's take this thing seriously. Let's spend some time and let's listen to some books. Let's listen to some people who are in this space. Let's listen to Dave Ramsey, what he has to say. And for a long time, I wasn't interested in Dave Ramsey at all, because I was coming into the entrepreneurship space, and I found somebody who was like, nah, Dave Ramsey is talking about old methods and stuff like that, and he's not talking about anything. Not to know that this guy is speaking about things from the Bible. Not to know that this guy is using scripture to back what he's talking about. And the other people who are accumulating wealth are doing things, are using all these strategies that seem so savvy, and I thought that this is the way to do it, right? Come to realize, nah, that's the nonsense, right? Listen to also to Robert Kiyosaki, right? And I don't agree with everything that he says, right? But the concept of what he's talking about is to do your own research, is to come up with your own strategy, is to press, is to go against the grain, is to learn, and to learn from people who have what it is you're looking for, not just your biological appearance. Talking about Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I was like, okay, let me open up my door, and let me stop being so standoffish, and let me also what I feel like it's hiding behind the church, in which case the church we go to is amazing, but it's no, let me go out there and say, this is my area, this is my mountain, so let me delve into it, let me reach this. And what I'm learning is the system is fundamentally cracked up, it's messed up, right? So how I came to that conclusion is that, right, we live in the richest country in the world, right? We live in the richest country in the world, but there's debt everywhere. I'm from the U.S. I'm talking about something from this perspective of being in the U.S. There's so much debt around. The country, we live in the richest country in the world. We have more debt than any other country by far. Why? We are the ones with the money. We are the ones who have the most. So what is it that we're doing with debt? Oh, this part of the strategy. It's leveraging. No, it's lack of using your ability to think outside of what is being shown in front of you. It's conforming to what the Babylonian system is. It's saying that I don't have to use my mind space to make the resources. There's money available. I can use other people's money. It's a lie. And the crazy part about it is every major university, top-ranked universities nationally, internationally, right? The people send their kids from other countries too, right? Are learning economics, are learning about financial strategy, are learning about business, right? There's other masters than business, but people come to the U.S. to get masters in business, right? The climate in the U.S. is fertile for you to do a business, but the way they're teaching you to set the foundation is based off of debt, credit, loans, borrowing, borrow. So the foundation is messed up, and there's no reason to me now to see why so many businesses fail. The foundation is already messed up from the beginning, right? And it's not how Dave Ramsey was talking about, is that the equation doesn't have a full equation of the risk factor that's incorporated with loss and with debt and borrowing, right? So I listened to one of his books, and I caught that now. It's crazy to me that he went to school for finance, right? That we're in this space now. That he went to school for finance, and they didn't teach him accumulation strategies that didn't involve debt. It's part of the method, and it's part of the strategy. So it's something that's messed up. I was today years old when it hit me that they go to school for business. They look and study charts about economics. They know about finance and what it is, but what they're doing is circulating the fact that you can get money from somewhere and you can borrow with interest, and if you make money on top of the interest, then you've made a profit. This is foolishness. And I'm standing on my own mountain on this one. I thought I was the only person talking about no debt strategy. Dave Ramsey was been talking about this for years, right? So you have to be open-minded. Like Robert Kiyosaki is talking about ways of that money is not money really. It's like the money is like something that we create in our minds. Really, what we need to have is the creativity to be able to go out there and make a profitable exchange with something, for you to be able to use things. He's also talking about using leverage, which I don't agree with. Using, some money to borrow down, to put a little bit down, to make profit on an exchange. That I don't agree with that, because I'm going back on the word that says that the borrower is a slave onto the lender, right? Why does it say that? Right? Why does it say that? You shall not borrow, but you shall lend to many nations. Why does it say that? Right? Why did God say that? And I asked him about this. God, what do you mean by this? Are we being impractical? Am I being unsophisticated? Am I being too holy Gentile or whatever? No, you don't need that. There's plenty of ways to make money without that. And we're talking about that today. And it starts with having a firm foundation. And the firm foundation, right, is not only the practical principle things that you can do in the United States, and also as well in Canada and other countries around the world too, but mainly in North America, because they've put it into the system. They've made laws and they've made a strategy about this. People can put this into the market because it supports the free market economy. Right? I didn't learn that. I've been listening to this. I'm spending time in this space. Like I cannot. This particular thing, that money is so important to people, because that the money is the resource that we're using. And what I'm learning from Rich Dad Poor Dad or from Robert Kiyosaki is that the money is not the money thing, right? It's just a tool. It's a thing, but it becomes a way to navigate through everything, right? You can do things without money, but you have to have a mindset that says, okay, I'm going to get the thing at the means of doing things in a good way at a profitable exchange that benefits me and the person. I'm not trying to steal from the person. I'm not trying to cheat the person. I'm going to find a way to build the thing, right? Before this money system happened, they did trade work. I'll give you something, you give me something, and it's equal of value. It might not be equal, exactly the same, it might not weigh the same, might not be the same resource, right? But they have the value. I give you the brick, you give me the material. So our mindset about money has to change, right? Our mindset has to change from debt to what can I do to have my children be debt free. My mindset has to be that I'm being responsible. I'm taking responsibility. I'm using a method. I'm being logic. I'm using practical things. I'm using measure. We don't measure when it comes to money. I would expect everything to go well. My brother warned me about that, and I was like, why is he always trying to be down on me? No, good advice. You have to also incorporate the risk or the volatility, right? So I'm not going to act like a professor in this, but this is something I'm going to stand on, and we're going to press into this, right? I learned more than anything at the seminar that was at this weekend, right? Multiple millionaires in the room. People making 500,000, people making 600,000. Even if you're doing more, if you're doing 300,000, 250,000, 150, they're doing more than I'm doing. So let me listen, right? Not everybody was all that much older than me. There's people who were around my age group, right? The shift happened. They came into contact with the fact that no, this debt thing is too much. I don't understand. Like people from Vanderbilt, right? People from Carnegie Mellon, right? Then you also have doctors who are studying medical sciences, biology, that are smart enough to figure out that this system doesn't make sense, that it bruises, that it falls upon itself. It's like a house of cards, right? It's a sand castle built on sand, right? It's not built on a firm foundation. Any person who can do simple math will show you that this debt thing will get you to lose overall. But we are still doing it, right? Every state in the United States is showing the same method. They have banks in every state that are selling mortgages and other forms of debt, credit card debt, and it's too much. So what are we going to do about this? We're going to delve and teach, right? This is an introductory to the page as well, right? The page is going to be about strategy, right? It's about finances. It's about structure. It's about insurance, right? It's about strategy. It's about fluidity. It's about liquidity, right? It's about equity. But equity, you know what I mean? I want to teach equity from the way I understand it in a business aspect that you don't have to take on debt for, right? I'm learning even about this other things like the debt part about it seems like it's a critical component of it, and I'm saying no, I'm rebuking it. Then let me seem like the foolish person. Then let me seem like the monkey with 7 heads. I would rather be that person, right? To be perpetuating a system that doesn't make sense, but everybody is doing it, so that's why I'm doing it too. That's something. No, we can't. So we're cutting this one short. Thanking you guys for being on the page, right? But the debt thing, no, you can make it by. To give you a couple of examples, right? If I'm looking to do something, right? Not to pick on the Girl Scouts or whatever is right, but the Girl Scouts are no, to my understanding, they're no debt entity. They're making $1 billion a year, right? The last time I did a video about the Girl Scouts, were doing 120 million. The next time I looked at it, it was $1 billion. What did they do to 10x their thing? They put more people on the ground. They went to more giants and whatever your supermarket is. And they put people outside, and they put people something that's simple for you to grab, and then you can exchange and buy without on impulse. And you buy 2 or 3 boxes, and these boxes are $8 or $9, $10 or whatever, right? I don't know the price of good, but what the whole point is that they find you something that you can get, and then they can get a profit, and they sell it to you. There's no debt involved. They don't borrow. They don't go out there with a proposal to the bank. They just say, we're going to go to the place. We buy our things up front. We buy at low, and we sell high. And that's it. And that's a simple exchange. This is sales, marketing, supply, demand. There's no debt involved. But we think that I need to take out debt. I'm sophisticated when I can take out debt. My credit score, the thing that's messing me up is that you can have a debt to income ratio, right? And normally the debt is higher than the income. It doesn't make sense. How can it make sense to anybody that the amount that you have borrowed is more than the amount that you're bringing in, more than the amount that you're making, more than your revenue stream, more than your income flow, your cash flow, your income stream? It doesn't make sense, but it's so common. Debt to income ratio does not mean I have so much income more than my debt that I can pay off my debt quickly. It means that this is how much you can borrow with the amount that you have, and they use a credit score to mark you, and they tell you how good of a borrower you are, and they mix it in with your psychology and your and the ethos and your emotions about, am I a good person? So am I able to pay back the loan at a sensible time, right? So now it's like, are you mature? Are you sophisticated? Are you somebody that's reliable? They've tied all these good things and these good qualities and characteristics, right, to borrowing money. So now that you should be so happy to be a slave in somebody's field, it's enough. So we're talking about no debt strategies. Right? What's a no-debt strategy? Anybody. No, not everybody. That's a lie. I'm going to talk about insurance, not everybody. You have to qualify for that based on how you are. Your age, normally, your health, right? Credit is not necessarily a part of it, but it is based off your health and your age. The older I get, the more expensive insurance is, generally speaking, right? But it's a strategy. And every state in the United States understands that insurance is not necessarily an investment, but they put it in the portfolio. And Warren Buffett, who is among the richest men in the world, has a lot of insurance companies in his portfolio. Geico, one that I know for sure, right? He also invests in real estate, Berkshire Hathaway, right? But he invests and he gets cash, and he doesn't do so much with his as far as debt. But they understand the importance of insurance companies, because insurance companies protect people's money or protect assets, right? And people pay money to protect their assets, and they collect a monthly premium. Then they take the money. All insurance companies do this, and they invest it at favorable return. A lot of it can be real estate. Some of it is in debt. But the whole point is that when they buy the debt, right, they get the interest, right? When we purchase the debt, we are paying the interest. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like we have to be mindful and be aware of that. So insurance can be a way that you can accumulate, and a lot of people they build their trust with insurance, backing it with insurance products. They use the market as one aspect of it or one component of their growth. The next part of the growth is they use insurance, right? And that's like, if you were doing options, right? People use options, what they call a covered option, to ensure their their growth. It means that I'm okay not to make the most amount of profit on it, but I want to secure growth on it. That makes sense. I'm going to secure and I'm going to increment, and I have that as a part of my strategy. So when things are less volatile, I at least make something. I give myself a guarantee. This is what insurance does. And the options, they use insurance to hedge their investment. You and I are not using anything to hedge our investment. We are using the house, right, as collateral. And what happens is we don't have the money to pay the house. They take the house away. This is what they call foreclosure, whether it be for taxes or whether it be for you missing mortgage payments, right? They take the house away. So it means that let's be mindful, right, that debt doesn't benefit us. Let's be mindful that debt makes you the slave onto the lender. You're not going to do the things that you want to do at full tilt, at full velocity, right? Using debt as a strategy because you have to pay the debt back. You're not going to do what God has asked you to do in some cases because you have to pay the debt back, your mortgage, your house, your car notes. So it doesn't make sense, but we do it because it's commonplace. We use it because it's familiar, right? It's so familiar that we forget that we don't have to use that. There's something called hard work or sweat equity, that I can put work into something and I can get it. Oh, but that's not practical. That's not logical. This and that. Why is it more logical for you to go into debt that you don't have a plan to pay back, but to go and use that debt, right? To go and get something just for that give me toddler mentality that I need it now. I want to cry in the candy store, but have your behavior earned you the candy? Has your planning earned you the candy? So let's not be lazy in our strategy. Let's say that no, that this one, after this year, we're not dancing anymore. You're not coming to come and call shots in my house. You're not going to come and limit my creativity, my spirituality, my mentality to go out there and create things. No, I'm not having this foolishness anymore. I'm putting it aside. After this year, we don't care if it's not essential bill, no payments. For what reason? Or however long it takes for us to run through that system, so that we don't have to have debt anymore. You understand? So, a little bit of a rant today, but we don't need the debt. I thought I was the last prophet on the mountain, like Prophet Elijah. There's plenty of people who do this. There's plenty of areas in the United States that don't care about that. They don't carry any debt. Maybe the mortgage. And we're putting mortgage even on the pedestal, like because of the amount it can be done. No, you can pay off your mortgage in a year. You can do one-time payment and buy the house cash. I believe in that. Now, you have to have sophisticated strategies, and to put the mortgage for the thing so high, even in common areas, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, right? That you have to come up with all at once. Well, that means we have to have self-discipline. Let us find ways to accumulate cash, right? Another one that you can do. You can enter into real estate without debt. You can do what you call it? You can do wholesaling, right? You can do tax surplus recoveries, right? You can do land wholesaling. There's other things you can do to accumulate cash, relatively good amount of cash. You can sell a house, right? On the seller side, you haven't taken on any debt personally. You've helped somebody to get into debt, unfortunately, right? But on the commission side, you didn't do anything that incurred a debt on your personal side. So it doesn't have to be just the real estate market. You can sell something at an exchange, right, to get a commission. You can sell academic or intellectual property, right? You can get online. You can sell other people's projects. That's what products, which is called affiliate marketing, right? But you can sell something at an exchange. You buy low, you sell high. The profit belongs to you. That normally doesn't involve any debt. And everybody wins when somebody sells something the right way, right? You can do a service. There's too many ways. If you creative, you can sell your creative properties, right? You can paint, you can draw, you can make a graphic design. This is my wheelhouse. Now you can come up with a marketing strategy. You can consult business, DC, bread and butter. So now it's like there's too many strategies out there that are available that you don't have to use debt for. You can write a book, you can write an ebook, you can write a blog, right, that has so many people on it, right? and sell things online. You can use ads to target your specific market. These are things you can do out there. You can cook something. The Girl Scouts are making cookies. Your cookies probably taste better than that. You understand what I'm saying? There's too many ways. When you sit down and think, Lord, how am I to do this? Lord said, ask me that question again. And what happens is that when you ask the question, he gives you the answer. Right? But if you're thinking, oh, the only way to do it is to do it with that, it amazes me. People with doctorate degrees, medical degrees, PhDs, masters, right? Smart in all type of things like chemistry, biology, biochem, like pharmaceuticals. Like, you people are smart. But then when it comes to money, oh, I have to use credit. Why? It doesn't make sense. How does me borrowing put me an advantage other than speed? And that type of speed, we don't want that type of speed, because if you're driving full speed with that type of car, right, and you're not using your maneuverability, right, and your mindset is on the past, which means your eyes are on the rearview mirror, you will crash. Right? You are putting yourself in a bad position. It doesn't make sense, but you do this. Let's stop doing this. Let's move away from the debt. Let's say debt. 2025 is the last year I'm going to be in debt. And the last year I'm going to use debt strategies to accumulate things because I don't want it. If I can't buy it with my own money, I don't need it right now. That means let me fix my strategy so I can afford the things cash. Oh, cash is king. That's a terrible strategy. But those people are not in debt, though. That to me is better. That's what I mean. God bless you.